Hello there, family, friends, and other people that are watching and following me. I know it has been a decent while since my last update video. Different things have happened in my life, not very much in the grand scheme of things, but it's been a decent amount to me, and it's been very interesting so far. Since my last update video, which did show me moving into my apartment, I'm here, I'm in, I'm fully situated, have been for almost a full month now. And it's been fun. It's been fun. I've got, things to protect my head in all the right areas because everything is too daggum short inside of these buildings, or I'm just too tall. One or the other. Pick your choice. Yeah, it's a great place. It's not bad. I'm up on the second floor. It's not picturesque in any, sort of grand scheme of things. On one side there's just a hill, and the other side there's a bunch of rooftops. It can be pretty at times, but it's not always pretty. I've gotten accustomed to both of my new schools, or all three technically. One school, or two schools, are in one campus, so they're technically on the same grounds with the same buildings, but it's two separate schools, quote unquote. A little difficult to get behind, a little weird on the scheduling. I mean, one of the classes is only twice a month on Sundays, and on certain months I don't even have any classes. Sometimes it's only once a month, sometimes it's 3 times a month. It's very strange on how it's all spread out. But it's not a bad school. It's weird on how the education system works. It's more like a Montessori type of schooling system on the Sundays, where the students can just kind of go from class to class doing some practice lessons and working on things and ask questions and talk to the teachers and that kind of stuff. There's no real set time frame for curriculum learning, not really in the same way that anyone in a college would know, or anyone in a basic, elementary, middle school, or high school system in the United States. It's different. And the reason why I said Montessori style is because in a Montessori education is where it's a very open, very free ideal for education, where the students are able to do what they want, for the most part. They're within decent bounds anyway. They have the freedom to do their own self-study and education of whatever choices they choose, and that's usually only for elementary and below. But it's very interesting to see the same concept, sort of, free choice learning in this education system here in Japan. So that's only once a month, twice a month at most, and it's interesting. Good people, very strange children or students, because they're not all children. They're actually all adults for the most part. Most of them have children. Some of them are in their 60s. That's a stretch for me. That's interesting. So the guy who went to college for an education degree in early childhood care and education graduated with an educational studies degree, and yet now he's teaching 60-year-olds. Who knew? So that's a thing, but it's not bad. It's okay. I like it. It's challenging. It's different. What else am I trying to say here? So the other school that I go to, which is on the same campus, it's a secondary school where the students were the ones who went to their junior high school, middle school level, only a couple times throughout the year. They didn't actually go there because they either chose not to because they were delinquents, or they could not go for extenuating circumstances. So it's that type of school where they do have rules and regulations and stipulations for the students to follow, but it's a lot more lenient in its own way, and there's not as many students. Like my smallest class at certain times only has 3 students. My largest class in that school has only 12, I think, somewhere around there. Very small classes, just like the Sunday school. But on the other hand, and on the other side of the area, the town, is my final school, which I'm at 3 days a week. And that school is a technical high school. I honestly don't know if we have those in the States. I'm not going to put it past anyone to have them in the States, but I just don't know if we have them. I've never heard of any. It's not technically a private school, but it's a technical school where the students go there and they get their basic rote learning, if you will, their education in math and science and social studies and English and Japanese and so on and so forth. But then they have their secondary courses, which are more or less like, I guess, what we consider electives, where they go into electrical engineering, engine work, metal work, things of that nature. I mean, I think I posted some pictures of like some of like the graduating classes, where one graduating class made a motorcycle from scratch. Another class made an electric motorcycle, little teeny tiny little crotch rockets that are like, they run off of small like scooter batteries or something of that nature, car batteries. They don't use gas. They're just like, I don't know. It's weird. It's strange to me because I don't know how that works. It's fantastic. A couple of the students on graduation have done, metalworking of, different anime characters such as like giant Evangelion robots. Some of them did Godzilla. Another group did King Ghidorah, which is the giant golden three-headed flying dragon thing from the Godzilla series. So it's really cool to see these final products that are still on the campus and available for observing. It's very interesting, and it's fantastic to see that the students were actually able to do that and actually put their time and effort into creating that kind of stuff. I like it. It's actually kind of an interesting way to get kids into the idea of more or less like a blue-collared lifestyle of work, instead of going in for the white collar, going in for the big business, going into the jobs where you have to go in from 9 to 5 inside of the big business office and then do extra overtime. No, we're talking about like getting down and dirty and making stuff with your hands. I like that. That's kind of cool. So that's the basics of my three high schools. Well, 2 high schools and 1 alternative school, if you will. And it's fun, it's interesting, it's different, it's strange, it's weird, but it's very exciting and eye-opening to do this. So I'm really excited to see how the rest of the year plays out. And the one school that I appear to be getting along the best with so far, which, I mean, it's only been a month roughly, has been it hasn't been a month yet. It'll be a month like next week. But anyway, the school I'm getting along with the best, that I say, because I actually went to the welcoming party, the drinking party. And as you all know, some of my past drinking parties have been fabulous, absolutely fantastic in their executions on what's been fun, what's been weird, what's been strange, and things of that nature. But this one does not disappoint. And I say that with great excitement because I'm a 27-year-old man living in Japan by myself. I have excommunicated myself in a very kind way from my family and my friends in the States to live a life abroad and to see what it would like to be an adult. Gonna say it's hard and it's very different, and I'm enjoying it. It's a challenge, but I get invited to the drinking party, the welcoming party. I mean, it's a fabulous place. We go to this traditional Japanese style restaurant. We sit down on tatami floor mats. We have the tables in front of us, and you get to have, your shabu shabu. We have like a boiling pot of water. You put vegetables and you dip meat in it, and it's so good. And then there's shrimp, and not just shrimp, but like sushi. Then there's nigiri. And I mean, there's all this traditional Japanese food. There was like this weird glass porcelain bowl of meat, fat, I don't know, it was weird. It was good, tasted weird, slid down the wrong way, but that happens when you're eating nothing but liquid fat. But it was a great party, great environment. All the teachers are very kind, and of course, I was the person to poke fun at because I'm the only American in the entire room, only foreigner in the entire building, I would assume. And they were making fun of my English and just English in general, because most of the staff don't know how to speak English, so they were laughing at me and laughing with me, and of course I was speaking broken Japanese, so laughing at that and things of that nature. So it was just good fun had by all. But to get to the party itself, to the building, I mean, from my apartment here, it's only about a 30-minute walk, so it's not terrible. Like, it's just up over the hill and around a bend. I could have gotten there by myself, no problem. But my teachers decided, oh, no, we'll have someone come pick you up. I'm like, okay, sure, that's fine. So they end up having one of the other welcomed teachers, the new teacher. I don't know exactly what he's a teacher of. I think he's one of the hands-on teachers. He's only 22 years old. He's a strapping young lad. Very kind fellow. He does speak a tad bit of English, not a lot, but some. And very open, very fun to be around, especially when he gets totally wasted. That was funny. Teeny tiny little Japanese man all over the place. Alcohol makes him bounce. But we said to meet in front of the local convenience store, which was just down the road from my apartment. It's less than a 5-minute walk to get there. So I'm dressed in a very comfy shirt, blue jeans, that kind of stuff. Like, it's a party. We're going there to drink. You know, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be all right. So I get there and I go in there and get myself a drink to wait for him in the parking lot. It turns out by the time I'm done paying for my drink, he's standing there waiting for me to come out. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Let's go. He's like, oh yes, please come. And we start heading towards his car. And I noticed that someone else is driving. And I go, oh, it must be another one of the people. So apparently it wasn't just him, it's somebody else also. Well, I get into the vehicle and I go, konnichiwa, hello, things like that, and we progress up to the place, things of that nature. And she doesn't speak a lick of English whatsoever. Australian, Jamaican, British, American, whatever, no English at all. But I do speak a little bit, and I understand more than I know of Japanese. And so I'm listening on the conversation, that kind of stuff, and I'm going, oh no, I'm this, I'm that, blah, 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 blah. And it turns out, through just hearing, that she was not another teacher. She was actually his mother. And I know that shouldn't be that funny to me or to anybody else, but he's having his mother pick him up and dropping him and one of his new co-workers off at the drinking party. It's sensible, so that way he doesn't drive home and he can just walk back, because apparently we live not too far away from each other. So it's, a fair walk to get back, but not too terrible. It's just the fact that I was picked up by his mother and his mother drove us to... I don't know why it's funny, but it is to me. The fact that I was driven to a alcoholic drinking party for new teachers to start the new year for a school by one of the new teachers' mother. It's just funny to me. That's not something that would happen in the States. If you're 21, 22, and you're able to drink in the States, if that were to happen, you would be the laughing stock of any social gathering. But that's only because the fact that it's not considered normal. At that point, you're considered, oh, you're 22, dude, you're an adult. Dude, just ride your bike, walk, do whatever. Don't have your mother pick you up. Come on. I mean, if you're sensible, you would do that, and he is sensible. I thought it was a smart idea. It didn't stop me from laughing at the fact that I was driven to the party by someone else's mother. I don't know. To me, that's just hysterical. I don't know. And that set the tone for the whole night. From that point on, I couldn't take anything seriously. But I got there. Turns out everyone else was in business suits because the fact that it was like the welcoming party, and I totally was not dressed for the occasion in blue jeans, stark white baseball socks, and, a flamboyantly, brightly, sickeningly teal blue button-up shirt. I'm being comfortable. It's a drinking party. I'm going to get hot. So I was not dressed for the occasion, but everything was okay. I think it made me stand out more in a way that was a good thing. It made all the teachers feel a little bit more comfortable and relaxed around me. So it worked out for the better. But yeah, nah, man, Japan is weird. Drinking parties are weird. But I'm here. I'm living the life, as it were, trying to save up money after moving. It's going very slowly because I'm still paying things off and trying to change things around, from going from one form of insurance to another. Right now, I've still got about another 2 weeks until payday, and I'm only living off of a couple of $100 or so. And I mean, I can make it work. I have made it work, and I will make it work, but it's tough, I'm sure that, as a lot of people do know, it is tough being an adult, and I'm finding out firsthand. And not having that type of sincere support group that I did have with my family back home is a little tough, but learning to live, learning to cope.